Welcome back to Crack the Cure series with me, Kavya Tendral. Today we'll be seeing about the menstrual cycle and its irregularities. If you have not subscribed our channel, do subscribe for more interesting videos like this, and as well press the bell icon so that you will receive a daily video notification. We'll be seeing about the normal menstrual cycle, its physiology, irregularities, especially the terms of irregularities, and amenorrhea, menorrhagia identification alone. Coming to menstrual cycle, it is basically a rhythmic cyclic changes is taking place in a woman, that is a reproductive life of a woman, and that too shedding of endometrium is a characteristic feature in the menstrual cycle at the bleeding phase. Here the endometrium, what part of endometrium is the superficial part of the endometrium, it's going to bleed. Why there is shedding of this endometrium is there is no support. Then what is going to give the support is the progesterone. So when progesterone is decreasing as well as estrogen, but still when progesterone levels are suddenly falling down along with estrogen, there will be shedding of the superficial layer of the endometrium, and this is what is happening in the third phase. Okay, this basically happens for the first time in a female, that is called a menarche, and it is at 12.5 years, somewhere around 11 to 13 years it has to happen. This is normal to be noted, and for it to happen, at least a female should have minimum of 22% of fat in the body to happen it. Why fat? Because the leptin in the fat will stimulate GnRH secretion, in turn that leads to menarche. So thereby any female of nearly less than 15% of body weight loss of fat, she will be having or she will be suffering from amenorrhea. Next is the normal cycle. We know that is 25 days plus or minus 7 days of duration. Next, the normal loss is 50 to 80 ml. It can lead to maximum of 100 ml. What maintains or regulates the bleeding is, one, the moment there is bleeding from the vessel, there will be platelet aggregation. As soon as platelet aggregation is taking place, there will be release of all these factors, that is prostaglandin, F2A alpha, EDGF, that endothelin derived growth factor, fibroblast growth factor, and other growth factors will be produced, and in turn there is decreased bleeding by the end of 5th day normally. So platelet aggregation, PDGF and endothelin growth factor will regulate and decrease the bleeding by the 5th day. Now coming to a very important point, that is the action of estrogen and as well progesterone on the genital region organs. First let us see estrogen. Very simple, in estrogen in ovary it increases size, folliculosis and induces ovulation. In fallopian tube it increases the motility and increases ciliation in the fallopian tube. Coming to uterus, it increases the blood flow of the uterus, that is estrogen increases the blood flow of uterus, increasing the stroma, increasing the size of the uterus. As far as cervix is concerned, the endocervix will go for cyclic changes. And what is that cyclic changes? Very important. It is going to produce thin, elastic, alkaline secretion, that is a spin Barrett effect. It gives a spin Barrett effect by all testing, and it gives a fern pattern on microscopy. Coming to progesterone, ovary, already it has been ovulated, so that ovum reaches the fallopian tube. Thereby the fallopian tube increases the nutrition secretion for the ovum, and as well the sperm which is coming inside for fertilization. We know that fertilization takes place in the ampulla of fallopian tube. Next, on the uterus, what is the action is it decreases the motility, because progesterone is the hormone that maintains pregnancy, so thereby it decreases the motility. How it is decreasing motility is it decreases the estrogen receptor, so that estrogen doesn't act and increase the motility. So it decreases the estrogen receptor, and as well it decreases the calcium uptake. Next, coming to cervix, it decreases thick viscid secretion, and that is also cellular. This prevents sperm re-entry again, thereby preventing and fertilizing ovum, and it prevents polyspermy. Next is the vagina. Vagina will be thick, cornified and infiltrated with leukocytes in case of progesterone action. Again the stressing on estrogen, ovary shows folliculosis, increasing size, uterus shows increasing blood flow by estrogen, whereas progesterone decreases the motility of uterus, and that's it. Next, coming to menstrual cycle irregularities is the term. amenorrhea. So it is amenorrhea, it is absence of menstruation. One thing to note, it is not a disease per se. Next, coming to oligomenorrhea, it is infrequent, irregular timed episode of bleeding, usually occurring at intervals of more than 35 days. To remember, when we say oligomenorrhea, it is a oligomenorrhea, oli. So oli will be 3 letters, so 30, and oligo is 5 letters on in toto, so 35 days, more than 35 days of interval, there will be infrequent, irregular period, that is called oligomenorrhea. Now coming to polymenorrhea, poly is more than 2, we know, so it is frequent episode that is usually occurring at interval of 21 days or less. Remember, it is less than 21 days, less than or equal to 21 days. Next is menorrhagia. It denotes regular timed episode, but episode is regular, but the amount of bleeding will be more, or the duration of flow will be for more days. It is of more than 80 ml or more than 5 days. Next, metrorrhagia. It is irregular timed episode superimposed on normal cyclical bleeding. Menometrorrhagia is a combination of menorrhagia and metrorrhagia, that is excessive prolonged bleeding at a irregular time, both combination of these both. Next is hypomenorrhea. What is hypo? They are saying is the episode is less, so scanty episode of bleeding but a regular time. Intermenstrual bleeding refers to bleeding, it is not excessive, that occurs between otherwise normal menstrual cycles, between the two menstrual cycle. Next is precocious. We know that menarche is attained at 12.5 years of age, so precocious is something before that time, that is 10 years. When someone is menstruating, a female is menstruating at 10 years, then that is precocious menstruation. Postcoital is that denotes vaginal bleeding after sexual intercourse. To remember metrorrhagia, I have a mnemonic. The moment we remember metro, this train comes to our mind. So if we miss our normal schedule, if you are irregular in our times, we can try to pick this metro to go fast. So metrorrhagia is irregular timed episode. We are irregular, so we take this. So it is irregular timed episode of bleeding superimposed on normal cyclical bleeding. Although we have normal vehicles, we missed out, right? So it is superimposed on normal cyclical bleeding, that is metrorrhagia. Let us continue amenorrhea and menorrhagia in the next coming video. Thank you so much for your patient listening.